Ladies and gentlemen, here we are, the climax of the winter season. For the Women's A Division, we have the West Coast Cobras up against the Cockburn Wolves. A big matchup in store for all of you watching at home and those that have made their way down here to Supa-Liga Futsal. The lineups for either side, starting with the Cockburn Wolves, we've got Mariana Tabane, number 10, Brooke Burdett, number 3, Georgia Weiss, number 31, Alyssa Van Hurek, number 8, Georgia Crawley, number 27, Joy Moithius, number 12, Claudia Heinzel, number 4, Caitlin Mohan in net, number 11, Catherine Adams, number 33, and Ella Mastrantonio, number 21. And then for the West Coast Cobras, we've got Annie Farrell, number 1, Frankie Murray Hocking, number 12, Elise Clemenson, number 7, Crystal Brook, number 22, Sarah Ranieri, number 3, Shelby Cochran, number 4, Gabriella Morby, number 18, and Stella Zampagnonia, number 15. As the starting whistle blows and we get underway in this grand final. It's great to see a big crowd in attendance. We've been building all day to this climax. Starting with the women, then the men. And it's just been a great display of futsal all the way from under 9s and now the senior age groups. And it's going to be, you'd have to say, an uphill battle for the West Coast Cobras. They made this grand final defying big odds against the Western Devils. Last time out in the semi-final. What a contest that was. Holding on to a narrow 1-0 lead, and they're defending Sarah Ranieri, number 3. She was the MVP of that contest. So if the West Coast Cobras are going to defy all expectations and get a victory, a first Women's Supa-Liga victory it would be, you'd expect Sarah Ranieri to have a big part in that. So on the ladder, this is 2nd v 4th. Cockburn Wolves, they got their job done well, as this is an early chance, squared into the box. Great footwork. Alyssa Van Hurek, and it finds the back of the net. I think it was a bit of miscommunication for the West Coast Cobras as we have a look on the replay. It was a side ball from Cockburn Wolves and just the defence wasn't set up. Beautiful touch around the corner to get past Farrell in net. And there's the opening goal for the Cockburn Wolves. Just the start that they would have wanted. And a reminder that a victory here tonight for the Cockburn Wolves would mean back-to-back consecutive grand final victories after winning last season's summer grand final. Again, they were underdogs last time out, but this time they are the favourites. Mastrantonio. Ball into the crowd. One of the fan favourites, Wim Harry-Hiru. We hope he's all right. Tabane. Mastrantonio. Interchanging passes. Van Hurek. Good footwork. Happy to reset. Crawley. Tabane looking for that back post. Runs all the way into touch. Ranieri to Shelby Cochran. And it is a reminder that West Coast Cobras, they are on demand, of course. That's why last weekend's victory was such a surprise. They're missing the young guns. Tatum Spencer, Samantha Brady, EJ Silva, just a few to mention. And that's why that semi-final victory was such a shock to the system to make this grand final. So we'll see how they go. They do have 3 on the bench. We'll see if that affects things. Obviously, the Cockburn Wolves have got a big bench to their name. Lots of subs that they can rotate through, maybe run the legs off the West Coast Cobras. But I have to say, West Coast Cobras are going to have to defend valiantly once again, just like last week. the strategy of grabbing an early goal and holding on to it. It's not going to work with that early goal from the Cockburn Wolves. Maybe that's what Coach Jose Galindo was so clear about in their team discussion. You can't give the Cobras a sniff to hold on. A goal early is crucial because West Coast Cobras, you can tell that taking it to extra time, taking it to penalties is something that they would have on their mind, but they're going to have to press up now. Ranieri checks off 4 minutes into this match. Crawley now to Bain, goes for a run. Switch of play, Van Hurek. Dispossessed by Crystal Brook. And of course, don't forget, ball to the back post, well defended Brook. Our 2 referees for this match, we've got Jonathan Silas on the near flank, and on the opposite side, Gabrielle Malaco. As Hocking goes for a run, well defended Van Hurek, all the way. Big calls from the Cobras bench. Think it was their side ball, but now Wolves on the break. Great save there, Farrell. Corner ball, Mastrantonio back to Tabane. Like last week's semi-final, they're going to be key in the Cockburn Wolves securing another grand final victory. Sampagnonia back to Cochrane. Chip ball down the line. Doesn't find anyone. Side ball.
Frankie, next one.
Crawley. Now to Bain. Dummy from Mastrantonio. Van Hurek does well, keeps it in play. Oh, into Mastrantonio. And then, well done there. The defense of the Cobras seeing that for Farrell's ball. She elects to go long, looking for Sampagnonia. Manstrano defended well. Sampagnonia back wide. And there's the first chance for the West Coast Cobras. Clemenson just going wide. Crawley, Mastrantonio to Bain. Just to mention Cobra Wolves. It's been almost 7 minutes, no substitutions just yet.
Go forward. Relax now, relax. Work it up. Still a high and then show.
Cochrane looks for the ball to Zampagnonia, couldn't find her. Crawley, now to Bain. Back to Crawley. Into Mastrantonio. Does well, good footwork. Resets, Crawley. Wide to Bain. Ball down, looking for Crawley, just rolls into touch. As Ranieri, she checks back on. Big strong unit. Goes and puts herself into target. Cochrane does well. Good counter press there. Ranieri, ball down the line. Cochrane, she's going to find it. Keeps it in play. And wins herself a side ball. Well done there. Ranieri. Ranieri telling Cochrane, wait till she's ready for the side ball. Don't rush it. As that one went over the crossbar into Mohan. And now, despite that early goal from the Cockburn Wolves, it's been quite cagey so far. No real massive opportunities. Obviously, Clement hit the side netting, but that was never going to challenge Mohan in net. Crawley wide, Van Hurek cuts inside, almost gets dispossessed, still going. Resets Mastrantonio, and then wide to Bain. Mastrantonio, beautiful little chip ball down to Bain. She's happy to see it all the way back, Crawley. Mastrantonio checks inside, plays wide Van Hurek. Asking for the foul, nothing called. Back out wide to Bain. Mastrantonio from range. It was dipping, but not enough Farrell will get us back underway. Ranieri found herself a pocket of space. It gets to her, but Crawley should come across well. Dealt with the danger.
Out it in, Frankie.
From range, it's dipping, but not enough. Crystal Brook. Tabane. Wolves lose possession, but as I say, that good counter press by the Cockburn Wolves. Back in possession as now we see Heinzel check on for her first stint of the match. Ball played wide, good recovery there. And now Hocking found some space, goes for the shot. And that's the first clear-cut opportunity for the West Coast Cobras. Good save, Mohan. Clemenson, Ranieri. Over the crossbar.
Just stand, no easy balls. Let it play back.
Mr. Antonio plays wide to Tabane. She tries to flick it wide, but it rolls into touch. Clemenson, Ranieri gets pressed hard. 2v1, out to Tabane. Can she make it 2? No, she can't. Good save, Farrell. Farrell plays Ranieri. Ball down the line. Not good enough. Rolls out of play. Tabane. To now Burdett. Heinzel. Back to Burdett. Mr. Antonio. Wide, Burdett. Inside, Tabane. They're building here. And can they make it 2? No, they can't! Farrell! Another brilliant save off the woodwork. Ranieri, ball around the corner. Brooks going to get there. Did well, keeps it in play, but it's going to roll into the hands of Mohan. Tabane, back to Mastrano. Burdett, now Heinzel goes for the shot, goes wide. Farrell goes long. Sampagnonia, there's an opportunity here. Finds Cochran. There's room at the back post. Sampagnonia, and there it is! The equalising goal for the West Coast Cobras. Stella Zampagnonia. As we look on the replay, Cockburn Wolves just didn't get back in time. And then, bottom left-hand corner. That was great play there from the West Coast Cobras, levelling the contest. And you have to say, despite that early goal, Cockburn Wolves have been just a bit flat, maybe just a bit nervous. Burdett, Heinzel, Tabane. Mr. Antonio hadn't followed the run. Clemenson looking to get past Mr. Antonio, pressing hard. Well done there, Clemenson! And it's off the post! Great press there by Clemenson. Caught out Mohan and Mr. Antonio. And almost gave the West Coast Cobras the lead. Cochran keeps it in play well. Wide. Murray gets dispossessed. Mr. Antonio sees that one into touch. Cochran. Wide. Clemenson. Switch of play. Hocking. Delightful ball. Little touch from Zampagnonia. Wasn't probably needed. But it was well done there by the Cobras. Great footwork there. Cochran showing the party tricks, but then Burdett did well to clear the danger. And now the Cobras, it looks like they've warmed into this match. Ball into inside the box. A bit messy between the two sides, but Cochran comes out on top. Zampagnonia around the corner. Well defended Heinzel, and now it releases the Cockburn Wolves on the break. And Clemenson, she stands strong. Sees it out of play. Tabane for the Wolves. Get us back underway. Heinzel. into Tabane. Well cleared, Clemenson. Of course, if you are watching online, YouTube or Facebook, put your score predictions in the chat. For me, I've got it 2-2 to extra time. And I'm going to stay right on the fence. It's going to go to penalties. And then I think the Cockburn Wolves will get the victory, just like last season, rather. Tabane, wide, Master Antonio. Ball across, well blocked, Zampagnonia. Back to Manstrano. Now Tabane. Wide. Burdett. Well defended there by Hocking. Clemenson checks out for Ranieri. Cochran to Ranieri. Give that ball over the top. Burdett, little touch on it. Rolls out of play. Cobras ball.
The shot is on. 5.
Shot from Cochran. Blocked by Tabane. And now Murray. Zampagnonia. Cochran did well to originally keep it in, but eventually rolls out of play. Cochran back to Ranieri. For the switch of play. Praised by coach Luke Ross for the idea of finding that back post run, but just a bit too much on the pass. Heinzel. Now Burdett. Back to Heinzel. Beautiful ball into Van Hurek. She looks to turn. Cochran stays with her. Cochran holds her up well. And then the switch of play to Heinzel wasn't on. As Hocking checks off for Brooke. Ranieri goes for a forward run. Cochran, Zampagnonia, beautiful ball to Ranieri, around the corner to make it 2! Great save, Mohan, but it finds the back of the net! The West Coast Cobras, they lead 2-1. And who else but Stella Zampagnonia? She's making a name for herself. Gets her second on the evening. And despite all odds, the West Coast Cobras now find themselves in front. It's all for the Cockburn Wolves to do now. Crawley to Tabane. Switch of play, looking for Burdett. It just rolls out of play. Cochran back to Brooke, into Zampagnonia. Did well, but the pass just let her down. Well defended by the Wolves. Tabane skips past a couple. Wide to Van Hurek. Looks for the cutback. Well defended again. Zampagnonia. But here's a chance. Looking for the foul. Nothing called. It was all ball into Ranieri. You can tell that the crowd is fully behind. Well, I'd have to say about 80% Coburn's Wolves fans. And they thought that was a nail-on penalty. Nothing called. But the Cockburn Wolves, they are building here. Van Hurek goes for the shot. Back post. Burdett switches Crawley. And her shot. And now, timeout has been called for the West Coast Cobras. And we'll just take a moment, address this contest. Definitely, despite the odds, Luke Ross right now talking to his team. So proud of them so far. Obviously, there's still another half to go, but if they keep up this intensity and this work rate and the defensive resilience, you'd have to say they could be grand final champions. And no one would have guessed that. Now the crowd is in a hush as well. They didn't expect this. They thought it was going to be party hour for the Cockburn Wolves. And now Luke Ross just reinforcing those defensive messages.
Do it, but do not call
Work hard as a unit. Defend well. And don't forget, after this one, the climax of the evening. We've been building to it all day. We've got the men's Supa-Liga final. The Cockburn Wolves up against the powerhouse that has been dominant all winter season, Rockingham Cumbio Cumbre. So we'll see how that one fares. As now after the timeout, 3 minutes left on the clock. We'll see what happens before. We'll see what happens before the half-time interval. And now the ball from Crawley just rolls into touch despite claims from the Wolves bench. Ranieri. Brooke. Now Cockburn. Moving the ball well here, Cobras. And what a delightful ball around the corner. And that was all because of Sarah Ranieri. Delightful ball, and it's 3-1. Absolutely incredible pass from Ranieri as we look at that again. In between the two defenders. And Crystal Brooke has made it 3. Mastrantonio looking for the run of Tabane. Farrell came in hard. All ball. Well done by her. And now, while they're claiming, Cochran just couldn't find that back post pass. Van Hurek. The crowd was brought into life once again. Thought that was a nailed-on penalty call. Tabane looks to get past Clemenson, does so, but Farrell, another good save. And it's a corner ball. Flicked over the top, Ranieri clears it away from danger. Mastrantonio, back to Crawley. Now into Tabane. Well blocked there. Cochran, again defensively, sees it out of play. Over the top, Tabane on the half volley. Farrell did well to make sure that one didn't find the back of the net. Tabane again, but Ranieri clears it away from danger. Wide, and Mastrantonio goes for the toe poke. Never going to challenge Farrell in net as Ranieri checks off. Frankie Murray-Hocking checks back on. Farrell elects to go long to her. Couldn't connect with her though, and it rolls all the way out for Mohan. She goes long, looking for Van Hurek. Brooke just defending from behind. Happy to see Van Hurek reset play. Mastrantonio now Tabane. Wide Van Hurek. They're building here, the Wolves. Can they pull one back before half-time? No, they can't. Van Hurek's touch just let her down. Farrell's ball. Farrell releases Cochran across Clemenson. Chip ball down the line. Had nothing on, just had to elect to not lose the ball and went long. Hocking did well defensively there. Making sure the ball didn't find her target in now Mastrantonio. Van Hurek tries to get past a couple again. The Cobras defense stands strong. I was interested to see how the West Coast Cobras would respond after going a goal down. Obviously, last time against the Devils, they only scored one and then they held on. Well-oiled defensive unit. But it was a bit of the opposite story. They went on the break after going 1-0 down and they've put 3 past. Mohan in net. Done exceptionally well, the West Coast Cobras. And now that well-oiled defensive machine. But as I say that, Tabane! Just wide. Unlucky there. Farrell did have the near post covered. Now the West Coast Cobras, as I was saying, they were a well-oiled defensive machine. They lost possession. But you'd have to say they're not going to try and concede too many goals. As now Van Hurek, can she pull one back? Yes, she can. And that's what they needed before half-time. Alyssa Van Hurek pulls one back, and 38 seconds left on the clock. It's 3-2. Apologies, I've been saying Van Hurek, it is Van Hurt. So well done from her. Clemenson wide, just sees it out of play, and now Cockburn Wolves have got some momentum here. West Coast Cobras have just have to see this halftime out. See it out till halftime, rather, and then address the situation, try and keep their 1-goal advantage. Farrell to Cochrane, now Clemenson, ball into Zampagnonia, now Cochrane plays it wide, Hocking, ball over the top, Zampagnonia. Her just got in an altercation with Mohan, but it rolls all the way out for a goalie ball. Farrell goes long. Hocking heads it in the wrong direction. Is there enough time to even the advantage? And West Coast Cobras, they survive. As the halftime whistle blows, West Coast Cobras 3, the Cockburn Wolves 2. We'll be back with you just after this ad break.
Futsal WA has social futsal competitions 5 nights a week, Mount Lawley and West Perth. Whether you're an individual or have a group of mates who want to play, there's a junior, men's, women's or mixed competition that will suit you. Contact us to get involved in futsal, an action-packed sport and the fastest growing sport in Australia.
Fire Lines has got him, and there it is! Welcome back to the second half of action. So far, it's not what the script writers had in store at all. The West Coast Cobras are leading 3-2. A bit unlucky to concede that second one going into the halftime break, but nevertheless, the Cockburn Wolves, they are building. They've had plenty of chances, and you have to say they're going to get back into this contest. West Coast Cobras, they have been clinical, taking their chances, so it's anyone's game. Cockburn wide, and Zampagnonia, her pass just goes astray. Cockburn back to Hocking. Back to Cockburn, and her ball around the corner, almost found Hocking, but now Crawley out to Van Hurk. Clemenson, she tried to flick it around the corner, but it just rolls out of play. Wolves ball, Crawley. Down the line, finding Tabane, ball inside. It's defended, and it will be a goalie ball. Farrell. She plays Cockburn. Bit of miscommunication there, Cockburn and Clemenson, and now here comes the Cockburn Wolves to Bain. But well worked back defensively there. Zampagnonia. Ball inside, trying to find Tabane. Good battle between the two of them. But it finds Stella Zampagnonia, 2v1, wide to Hocking. Can she find the back post? Yes, she can! And there's Stella Zampagnonia with the hat-trick in the women's grand final. How clinical have these West Coast Cobras been? And once again, a 2v1 opportunity. Hocking with the assist. And they've found the back of the net. Exceptional play there by the West Coast Cobras. There's now the crowd. 80% Wolves fans. They're trying to rejuvenise their girls. But again, here's Zampagnonia. Can she get a fourth? Still going. Wide, Clemenson. She shoots, gets spoiled, and then her shot eventually over the crossbar. Mohan plays Moithius back to Crawley. This is Moithius' first stint of the match coming in the second half. And here looks for the switch of play, but it just rolls out of play. Cockburn back to Hocking. Delightful ball. Zampagnonia, the flick around the corner. Does find it. She's Hocking. Just looked like she'd injure herself, but here comes Van Hurk. Resets all the way back. Crawley. Switch of play. Mastrantonio. Flick around the corner. Redwell Cockburn. But the wee bit of changing hands of possessions is Van Hurk had somehow found the shot from that wide angle. Almost found the back of the net, just wide.
Let's make sure we get in.
Farrell elects to go long. Crawley, good first touch, but then she gets dispossessed. Zampagnonia, and she scored again! It's goals galore for the West Coast Cobras. Zampagnonia with her fourth. And can I believe what I'm seeing? 5-2 for the West Coast Cobras. And the Cockburn Wolves and the crowd are shocked. 5-star performance so far from her. Every time she shoots, she just finds the back of the net. But here come the Cockburn Wolves. We know they'll respond well. Moithius getting double teamed. Van Hurk. Moithius. Well saved, Farrell. Farrell. Long ball from Brooke. Runs wide. Mastrantonio, ball down the line, looking for Moithius. Her touch lets her down, and you can just tell the Wolves, they're rattled here. 5-2, it's a 3-goal advantage. I can't believe I'm saying this. No one expected this one. As there's a shot, another save, Farrell. Now, Cockburn Wolves are going again. Master Antonio's shot just goes astray. Farrell goes short. Ranieri. Beautiful chip ball down the line, looking for Cochrane. What was that first touch from Cochrane? Absolutely filthy, but great save there. Mohan. All the way back, looking for Clemenson. Goes for the shot, gets past Moithius. Then again Clemenson. And Mohan again getting called into action. Ball across. Cochrane over the bar. Now Mohan gets the Cockburn Wolves back underway. And here it goes down the line. Goes for the shot to the back post. Master Antonio just a few metres behind on that one. Back to Cochrane. Ball around the corner to Bain. She read that one well. And now there's a 4v3 opportunity. Van Hurick plays wide to Bain. But again, it's just not clicking for the Cockburn Wolves. And it's a 3v2 the other way. Played wide. Ranieri. Well read there. Van Hurick. But the West Coast Cobras still in possession. Ranieri around the corner. Gets dispossessed. But the Cobras are still in possession. Clemenson. And eventually Cobras runs out of play. Wide. And Hurick runs out of real estate on that opposite side of the court. Back to Ranieri. Cochrane. Her first touch lets her down. And now Cockburn Wolves are going once again. Moithius down the line. Van Hurick back to Moithius. Now Heinzel down the line. Good footwork there by Tabane. Keeps it in play, but then Cochrane comes across for the double team. Sees that one into touch. Heinzel back to Moithius. Then Van Hurick to Bain. Skips past Cochrane, but she does well. Ball to the back post, delightful. And I thought it just found the back of the net there for a second, but it is side netting. Farrell got a slight touch on it. And it's a corner ball. And even on the Cockburn Wolves bench, there's no positivity at all. They're all just stunned and shocked at the moment. I've never heard Subiaco futsal so quiet in my life. As Farrell goes long, Ranieri maybe through. Hocking rather, in behind. As here comes Moithius, skips past one. Tries to get past Hocking. Hocking defended well, but still going Moithius. Van Hurick, now Moithius. Looks to isolate, goes for the shot, and they've pulled one back. Farrell, a bit unlucky there. Found the post and in the back of the net. Moithius. And it's drawn back to a 2-goal advantage for the Cobras. And you know what I say, 2 goals is the danger area. And they've got all the momentum now, the Cockburn Wolves. Definitely still in this match. Down the line, Zampagnonia, delightful ball back to Crystal Brook. And then eventually Mohan comes out well. And just feel the tension is building. The suspense is building. And the Cockburn Wolves, they've found themselves a bit of momentum here. And can they capitalise and maybe pull one more back and then try and equalise before the 11 minutes are out? Still plenty of time left. You'd have to say they're going to have to defend well as well. Green ball. Zampagnonia back to Brook. Flicked wide, Clemenson. Delightful ball down the line. Brooke, she shoots. Another huge save there by Mohan. She may have conceded 5 early on, but then she's called when she's needed. Clemenson from range. As the drop calls up, said by Coach Luke Ross. Tabane. Wide, trying to find Heinzel. Rolls into touch. Cockburn back to Hocking. Chip ball looking for her target, and Zampagnonia couldn't find it. And now Tabane, to Muithius, back to Tabane. Ball over the top, well read there, Zampagnonia, and now Clemenson collects, but great defensive work right there by Van Hurick. Made sure the Cobras in attacking a 3. Muithius. Ball chipped down the line, Muithius. Still going, Joy Muithius, she's definitely one of the danger ladies, but she gets triple teamed there by the Cobras. Needed 3 of them to stop her from progressing up the court. And now Tabane. Skips past Clemenson. Heinzel, Muithius. Gets dispossessed. Well worked there, Clemenson. Muithius. And that was a chance there by the Cockburn Wolves. Very unlucky. Farrell finds Zampagnonia inside. Cochrane. Now Hocking. Chip ball over the top. Zampagnonia, great change of direction. And here comes Hocking. Tries to skip past a couple, but Burdett, she worked well defensively. Now side ball for the Cobras. Finds Clemenson, takes a touch, cuts inside Clemenson. She's going to go for the shot, gets dispossessed, and now the Cockburn Wolves. Farrell comes out, and very unlucky for Mariana Tabane. That could have made it 4. And now it's all falling into the Cobras' hands. Every second that ticks along, it's an advantage from them. Cochrane, Hocking. Zampagnonia tried to find the run of Hocking, couldn't connect with it. As Heinzel checks out for Mastrantonio. Heinzel looking for the run of Mastrantonio. She's found her on the volley. Huge save, Farrell once again. Being called upon when her team needs her. As the timeout card is being called in by Coach Luke Ross. Back, Mastrantonio with the dummy. Tabane, back to Mastrantonio. Gets dispossessed. Gets past a few. And then Tabane collects the ball once again. Wide Burdett goes for the shot to the back post. Very unlucky. Tabane and Van Hurick couldn't find the back of the net. As now we have a timeout for the West Coast Cobras. We'll be back with you just after this break. Welcome back after the timeout. Coach Luke Ross probably just trying to ease some of the momentum that was coming the Cockburn Wolves' way. They are building here. And you've got to say, there's still plenty of time for them to pull a couple back. They've already scored 3. They just need 2 more. But as well, as every second ticks along, it's advantage. West Coast Cobras, Farrell to Cockburn. Played wide, Brooke. Back to Cockburn. She didn't need to... She just had to clear it there, away from any danger, as the Wolves elect to press high. And now they're back in possession. Mastrantonio. Wide to Bain. Back Burdett. Back to Mastrantonio. Finds Van Hurek. No, she doesn't. But then it eventually rolls out of play. Side ball.
Get it back, guys. Get it back. Ref, time.
Ranieri. Cochran. Ball over the top. Doesn't find Brooke. Mastrantonio's ball. To Tabane. Wide. Burdett. Back to Tabane. Cuts inside. Resets Burdett. Then Mastrantonio sees that one out of play. Ball inside. Van Hurek holds it up well, but Ranieri happy to see that one away from danger. Burdett over the side ball. Then again, Cockburn Wolves set up to apply the pressure on the West Coast Cobras. Tabane. Wide. Burdett. Hocking once again. Cobras just electing to stay deep, eliminate any space for the Cockburn Wolves. Mastrantonio goes for the shot. It's deflected twice. And it will be a corner ball. Ball inside. Brooke just got a slight touch on it. Mastrantonio skips past one, but Hocking does well. And then the ball to Van Hurek just rolls out of play. And now we enter the final 5 minutes. How is this going to go? Oh, the Cockburn Wolves. As here's an opportunity. Mohan just got a touch on that. Collected it away from danger. And now Mastrantonio. Back roll to Bain. Takes it down the line. But again, Brooke defends valiantly. Burdett. Back to Mastrantonio. Now Burdett. Down the line. Hocking says no. Into touch. Mastrantonio. Wide. Van Hurek. Just holding it up well. Beautiful 1-2 around the corner. But her initial touch just a bit too heavy, and Farrell releases Ranieri. Her pass just goes astray. Ball into target. Van Hurek once again holds it up well. Wide Burdett. Into Tabane. She goes for the shot from range, and that's what they needed. The Cockburn Wolves, exactly what they were looking for. Pull a goal back. And I was a bit blindsided. We'll look on the replay. Maybe a Farrell mistake from that sort of distance. Let's have a look. It was tough. Slight deflection on that shot. And Farrell might have should have saved that one, but there was a slight deflection, so it was hard to judge. And now, how's this going to go? 1 goal the difference. 3 minutes 50 left on the clock. Mastrantonio unmarked Burdett. Can she equalise? Yes, she can. And she sent Subiaco Futsal into life. Burdett, 5-5 in this grand final. Does the Cole Palmer celebration. And now Farrell comes up, setting up the 5th man. Hocking around the corner into Tabane. And no way from Tabane! Yes, it is! And it sent Subiaco Futsal into jubilation. I can't believe what I'm experiencing. Annie Farrell, she came up for the 5th man. There was no need. It was still equalised. And have you ever seen a crazier comeback in women's Supa-Liga history? And now the West Coast Cobras, they are well and truly in a trouble situation here. There were 2 goals to the good just over a minute ago, and 3 quick-fire succession goals from the Cockburn Wolves. Absolutely electric. Cochran, she needs to try and find some of her players in the back. Ranieri, it's going to take a toll, being 3 goals up at some stage in a grand final. And now to make it 7! Yes, they have! The Cockburn Wolves have done it! You'd have to say 2 goals, 3 minutes left on the clock. Can you believe it? Because I just simply can't. 7-5. And have you seen a crazier grand final? Ranieri. Back to Cochran. West Coast Cobras. It was all in their hands, but so unlucky. Ranieri. Back right, Cochran. Can they pull one back? Crystal Brook on the back post. She just needed to tap it in. It goes over the bar. So unlucky, and you have to say it's not going the West Coast Cobras' way. Burdett. Back to Van Hurek. Getting pressed hard here. Clemenson into Ranieri. She tries to skip past Burdett. Holds it up well. Pass to the back post. Well saved, Mohan. Mr. Antonio, now the experience is kicking in. Just happy to keep the ball wide. Van Hurek, but her touch lets her down. And I think everyone's just in shock. Cochran, wide. Clemenson getting pressed hard. Burdett, back to Tabane. Ball intercepted there. Cochran, and then back to Cochran, but no, intercepted. And here comes Tabane. Can they make it 5? No, they can't. Tabane on the back post. Just couldn't find the back of the net. As the West Coast Cobras set the 5th man up once again. Wide. Hocking. Farrell does well. Gets a slight touch on it. Wide to Clemenson. And then here's Ranieri. Getting pressed hard. Absolutely crazy scenes here at Subiaco Futsal. Burdett. Master Antonio pressed hard here. On her knees, but does well. Cochran. Wide. Hocking. Cochran. Ranieri. Back to Cochran. Ball over the top. Brooks in behind. Can she put it on goal? Yes, she can. And this time, ladies and gentlemen, there is time. 56 seconds left on the clock. And you'd have to say, if they just scored that one earlier that went over the crossbar, it would have been a finale. And now, as we have the timeout, 7-6 the scoreline. I just cannot believe what game we are experiencing here. Absolutely goals galore.
Here we have the 5th man set up from the West Coast Cobras. We have a 4-1 set up here. The Cockburn Wolves currently leaving a player. They're leaving that man open, which is costing them that cutback goal. You see here. So the West Coast Cobras need to try and exploit this, and hopefully the Cockburn Wolves, for their sake, are learning, or Coach Jose Galindo is instructing his girls to play zonally, because if you get that ball into that middle and then that space open there, it is very costly. So we have to see how the Cockburn Wolves respond.
And now, 56 seconds left on the clock. Will the West Coast Cobras send it to extra time? You'd have to say be a big challenge mentally after being ahead for pretty much the whole game. But they've responded well with the 5th man. And now, Cockburn Wolves, they come back to halfway, and Crystal Brooks, she's on for the 5th man. Cochrane, Ranieri, back to Cochrane, then Ranieri. Wide, Hocking, is this their opportunity? Hocking with the shot! Massive save, Mohan to Bain. Cawley rather. Sees it out of play, and they set up the 5th man once again. Ranieri, wide, Cochrane, down the line, Clemenson, and it hits the side of the post. She went for glory. She should have just tried to find the cutback. Mohan elects to go long. Clemenson, Ranieri, back to Clemenson. This is the last opportunity. Ranieri, Cawley, she goes for the shot, but it's going to roll all the way out for the West Coast Cobras. Goalie ball, and this is their last chance to tie things and send it to extra time. Will they do it, or will the Cockburn Wolves be the Women's Supa-Liga champions? Ranieri, ball down the line, and it rolls out of play. And is that it? One minute, 4 seconds left on the clock. Farrell, she just has to go long. She does. Can they get a flick on it? No, they can't. And that is full time. What a contest. And the West Coast Cobras have gone down 7-6. The Cockburn Wolves are the Women's Super-Liga champions, and my oh my, what a contest it was. 13 goals on the night. Absolutely unbelievable scenes. So unlucky for the West Coast Cobras. They had a game plan, they stuck to it so well, but they just couldn't find that composure to see it out in the end. And now we will have the match statistics up for you and an interview. So thank you for joining us for this one. And don't forget, next up we've got the Men's Super-Liga final. So stick around for that.